All right, everyone, and thanks for joining us here at Billiard Livestream. As you can see, they kind of jumped the gun on me a little bit and started while I was looking the other way. So that was the very first game that we had. Justin Hall takes care of that one. Oh, actually, looks like we got a little bit of an error on the scoreboard. Let me go jump on that real quick, and I'll be right back with you. Yeah, looks like we'll let that one take care of itself here in just a few. So, what do we got? Kind of a surprise match. Just got this. All right, we'll see if that one takes care of itself. So, what do we have here? Justin Hall versus Brandon Johnson. Big spot, as you can see, is down there towards the bottom. Called me up just a couple hours ago and said, "Hey, can we play a match?" And the answer is always yes whenever it comes to these guys. And big spot going on. So Brandon's going to get all the breaks: the wild 5, the called 8 ball, and the last 5. So seems very doable. But I tell you, it's this could be a challenge on both sides. Old Justin Bergman just gave this spot to somebody, I believe it was yesterday, for 100 grand on that match. So in comparison to how that one goes, this is a little bit on the lower side of the pay scale, but nevertheless, 4 grand in the middle. So these guys are shooting. We'll go over here and get our job done. Make sure that we're marking these up. And so the way the score is going to work is somebody has to win by 10. So rather than keeping it, 1 for 1 all the way through, we're going to just be keeping the score the same as arrow on the scoreboard that's in there, and that is how many points are you ahead. So Justin got the first game, Brandon got the second one, so we're back to 0-0. Looks like a decent defense there. So needless to say, anybody who's been playing long enough knows very well that the trick to all of this is going to be it's kind of, for the most part, it's going to be on Brandon. Number 1, does he make a ball on a break? Number 2, does he get a shot? If he does, should win that game. If he doesn't, chances are the advantage is going to go to Justin, obviously, at that point. So, very much an old school way of playing. We don't see as much of that going on now. But here we are. So this match could take an hour. This match could take 6 hours. We don't really know, but we're going to be here for the duration because I don't plan on working hard tomorrow anyway. It's day before day off, so see how all that goes. But looks like with Brandon's miss, Justin's going to be off and running on this game. Of course, he has to get them all. Everything's sitting pretty solid right now. Everything's got a connector, and don't see any problems laying on the table. Working around pretty nicely. So yeah, the biggest surprise I would say whenever it came to hearing they wanted to play this match actually had more to do with which table they were calling it on. I would have expected something like this to be more on a 9-foot table to take some of that advantage away, but no, Justin really wanted us. he really wants that challenge apparently. So he wanted to put that on the 7-foot table. Brandon's actually not a bad shot on the 7-foot table, which makes it that much more difficult. So, again, off and running they go. I see a couple of familiar names out there. Mr. Dominic Dunn, see you in a couple of days, and looking forward to that match. That's going to be one hell of a match that y'all guys have got up there. Mr. Brian Luke, same to you, and thanks for the share. Appreciate that. Um, Definitely always like it whenever people share. That's how we get more viewers on here. Got a really good collection of people that's joined in on us today, and thank every one of you for coming in and watching. And we are back to 1-0 for Justin. See, this is where that problem starts to come in. So, dry break. You know, Justin's probably going to lock this one up pretty tight, but that is not a mistake that Brandon can make very much. I actually left him a pretty easy kick. Needs to find some luck and make this one in. I see that 5 ball sitting out there in the middle, and if it happens to fly its way into a pocket, that's a win. 8 balls down a little bit below it. All right, so no luck from Brandon on that shot. A little bit of a tight position play. Wants to get that cue ball all the way back over to the rail for the 2. It looks like he's going to draw it back over to it. And there's that one pocket skill and no love at all. Scott Bosker, the stakes. It is $4,000 in the middle, 2,000 apiece. Oh, nice hit by Justin there. He is going to leave an open shot. 2 balls should find its way down there into the corner. Brandon's Fargo. Honestly, I don't even know if he's got one. I will look it up real quick. I would guess that he probably doesn't have a Fargo. He really doesn't play too many of like the weekend tournaments or any of those kind of things. I mean, in all honesty, you can tell by the spot if he played in a lot of those tournaments, we probably wouldn't see quite that big of a spot on here. But I will look it up just to be sure. Three down. Oh, and that one stands up and fights. 5 ball was not going to be an issue on that shot, so that's a costly one. And Jimmy, I do not see a Fargo rating for him. It is Brandon Johnson that's right here in Florida. So I see a whole lot of Brandon Johnson, as you can imagine. That's a pretty popular name. None that look like what we have here. And Jimmy, I would probably say, maybe even closer to the uppers, possibly even somewhere in the 500s. And the only reason I say that is because he does play APA, he is a 7 there. So, which would probably put him around the lower 500s. That's a big guess. Obviously, it's calculated a little bit different. Hey, Jason, how's it going today? So, as you could also imagine, let me change that score to it for Justin. So, 1/5 of the way there. So, as you can imagine, they're not going to use the magic rack on this one. Way too easy to make that wing ball for Brandon and control everything. So, this one is obviously using the regular triangle rack. A lot of English on that cue ball. Stuck all the way to the back rail. Mr. Don Riley, how's it going? Glad you could join us on the stream, and hope you can make it up here before too long. Might even have to get another one of those Scotch doubles matches going. So I'm assuming that the Melissa is actually Robert and or Roger, excuse me, Robert. Sorry about that. And Roger, I don't think he's gonna give you quite this same spot. All right, does make a successful hit on the one ball. Doesn't pocket it. And that one does have a side pocket to go into, drift that cue ball on down. And everything's looking somewhat okay. That 3 is a little bit of an issue. He doesn't have to make it. He just has to make sure that Brandon doesn't. And, well, it's possible that could happen. Mr. Cleary, how's it going? I hear you, Jason. I'm trying to take a good look and see what he wants to do with that 3 ball. Rolls it up nicely. See what kind of shape he's got here. I wonder if he's going to go for this one, or if he's just going to stick on the other side of that 6. He goes for it all. Why not? All right, sits nicely for a potential shot up the rail. Is this going to come out? That's a little rough. Who comes close to that pocket? How is this going to come out? Well, you see the one he's got to make to get this back to 1 zip. Oh, that was for the win on this game, and I think we might be figuring out why Justin was okay with taking this spot. All right, looking good, Mr. J. Hall, and not a whole lot left to deal with for this game. If it keeps up like this, we're not going to get our money's worth. Chris, it is not a race to 10. You have to be ahead by 10. So you'll see one of the 2 points on here always staying at 0. For example, if Brandon was to win the next game, it would actually go to 2-0 instead of 3-1. So whoever gets ahead by 10 first, that's going to be declared the winner. But with the way that it's looking at the moment, I don't know, you can almost call it a race to 10. Can't be missing those kind of shots and leaving it in the pocket. Oh, might have snuck that one out a little bit far. Yeah, you can definitely see the 2 from there. And those are just not the kind of mistakes that you can make. So Brandon's struggling a little bit here at the beginning. Justin buries that behind the 8-ball. Jimmy, I like that. Yeah, this is definitely one of those that, I mean, for obvious reasons, Brandon's game plan is you got to come out with big lead from the beginning. The longevity of this match is going to go more in Justin's favor. So if he could have jumped out, a few games from the start, that could have made a difference. Justin's doing all the right things right now, so. It's a little straight on the 8-ball. We'll see how much he's able to kind of cheat this one over if he's just going to stay on the short side of the 9. Short side it is. 4-0. This is going quick. And to sneak in there and fix the scoreboard real quick. It's kind of set up for a little bit different. So whenever it's looking at, there's not an actual like a final number. It's kind of erroring out on us because the way that the way this one's being scored. But got it fixed, hopefully. Oh, is he gonna get lucky? That would have been a wild 5-ball. So once again, no love from this table for Brandon. it's going to be another game for Justin. Bring this up to 5-all here in just a moment whenever he punches that in. Miss Katie Lee, how's it going today? And I'll go ahead and repeat it since it's you. It's actually in the description if you at the bottom and in the on the post itself. Brandon is getting all the breaks, the wild 5, the called 8-ball, and the last 5. So that is the spot that we're working with. And another dry break. He has, if he doesn't get that under control in the next 5 games, then it's not going to be an issue anymore after that. Brian McIntosh. We are going to be seeing that match on the 2nd. So on Sunday, Mr. Dominic Dunn and Mr. Cleary are going to bless us with their presence and the opportunity to stream that match right here on the other table that you see in the back. And could not be more excited and couldn't be more thankful for the two of them doing exactly what they've done. And if you haven't heard, that is the match of the century. I know I'm looking forward to it. All right, 9-ball down, 6-0. I think this is after about 7 games. Derek LaPrairie, how's it going today? You gonna give Cody the same spot? All right, looks like this one's got a little bit different opportunity, and Brendan's taking that one chance to talk a little bit. It's been pretty quiet through this match, and better be careful with that runaway ball, and look where that lands. Now that 5-ball is still sitting over there, so good contact on. Up, is it gonna go? Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Again, that's that wild 5-ball that he wanted so desperately, and oh, he hit the 4. Sorry, totally my mistake. We switch balls back to the regular Aramith set, the Pro Cup set, so now my colors are all screwed up because we're not using the tournament or the TV tournament balls. Walking the cue ball around the table, 4-ball next. All right, so all they needed, one hung ball, and Brandon brings that a game closer. Should go back to 5-0 here. Justin shaking his head a little bit because he doesn't do that a lot, especially not on a 7-foot table, but hey, it happens. All right, so break a little better on that one. The 3 than the 5 sitting up on the top. Gotta make that 3 though. Yeah, that was another lost opportunity. And Derek, you know I'm always game, so y'all let me know when y'all want to match up, and we'll make sure it happens. Got a busy weekend that's coming up. But I'm sure we can work something out. Didn't get quite as straight as he wanted to. Has to be a little careful. Ooh, uses the whole pocket. But tap in 9 ball for Jay Hall once again. Moves it back. 6-0.
I can't find anything. Tell my luck, I can't find nothing.
So Johnny actually looked it up. Sorry, I actually already said this one time, but I had it on mute the whole time, so I apologize for that. So I tried to look up Brandon's Fargo a few minutes ago. Unfortunately, there's not one out there. He doesn't do a lot of like the different like Pro Tour tournaments and things like that. He does play League and APA, but that's about it. I think he's still got. I think he's still okay on this one. So nevertheless, he does not have a Fargo listed. As far as how they came up with this spot, apparently yesterday there was a match. I didn't get to see it myself. There was a match with Justin Bergman that he gave this same spot and won 100 grand. So the two of them, Justin and Brandon, they're both friends. What a shot! Look at that. Even a little help from the side pocket. So they were talking about it whenever they were having lunch, whenever they were hanging out, and Justin said, "Hell, I'll give you that spot." And Brandon immediately said, "Okay, let's figure out when we're going to play that one." And I'm starting to figure out why Justin was so quick to say yes, because whenever I got the call from Brandon earlier saying they wanted to play this match here, and he rattled off all the chances that you see listed across the bottom. I mean, who wouldn't take it? To be quite honest with you, but it's showing the two different levels of players. To be quite honest with you, because I mean, Justin Hall, he's it's world class as it gets. So can't take anything away from him. And he's sitting with a huge lead right now. The race is only going, it's not necessarily going to 10 per se. You have to be ahead by 10. Again, an old school way of tracking the games. And these are ones that, whenever they say something like this, where it's ahead by 10, ahead by 15, or ahead by 3, doesn't really matter. These kind of matches on occasions with two great players, they can take days in order to be able to complete. So we don't see it as much whenever it comes to live streams now. But and it's too bad. It's a great way to play it. Brad, never mind. I'm not going to comment. uh, Tommy, there is 4,000 in the middle, or $2,000 per player. So nothing cheap going on here. And Johnny, yeah, I'm starting to agree. I expected this would be at least hours worth of entertainment. It's I think I can take the plural off of that if this keeps on. But again, it's going to come down to Brandon absolutely has to find a break that works, and he may be practicing a lot with the Magic Rack. And as any pool player knows, you take that template away and start putting it into a regular rack, and it's just not the same. Those dry breaks are going to kill him for, I don't know, the next 30 minutes until this is over with, if this keeps up. Justin just taking care of business over here. Sign him up for Team No Respect if this keeps on. I mean, he can't keep going this quick. I haven't even finished my first drink yet. Johnny, so he's a 7 in APA, which would probably, I mean, that would still definitely still be in a B player status. Would probably be, with best guess, I would say that's going to be like maybe a low 500. Mr. Carlos, how's it going today? Long time no see. Jimmy, you got a point. I was going to say that out loud, but yeah, you got a point. That's not going to help a whole lot either. Mr. Tim Denson, how's it going today? You next? Billy Walker, I'm trying to remember his name, and Justin just told me a little while ago. Probably most people on here would know it. He's one of our fine billionaires, and I just cannot remember what his name is, to be quite honest with you. We see him even playing poker as well, and uh-oh. How far is that going to make it? So Justin needs to make this particular hit, because that 5 ball is the wild one. Actually, it gets it down there a little ways. If the 5 finds it into any pocket, again, that's part of the stipulations. James, I believe that's correct. Is it Carl? Carl Boise? Oh, you wouldn't do that. All right, stays up. So moves it back to a 7-0. Brandon's pretty happy about that one. All right, guys are taking a real quick break. I'm going to do the same run to the restroom. We'll be back in just a moment.
I'm sweating, man. I'm doing all the work. Yeah. Trying to tire you out. And no practice.
All right, time to start back. So, just in case you're wondering, as we were talking on the break, Brandon's feeling good. He's got this one. He's got this one toned in now. So he's ready to run 4 balls out of this frac. All right, a couple of balls down. I don't know, maybe he wasn't kidding. Good comment, Tommy. I did make sure that I told Justin if he could slow it down a little bit, that I at least wanted to get through the first string. Nice hidden shot there. That one's going to be sitting pretty up along that top rail. Brandon's going to kick off a long rail. That might cost even more. That 2 ball looked like it was in a little bit of trouble. Well, actually, that one might pass. A little tough to tell from here. Yeah, looks like he's just going to go ahead and go for the 9 now, and can't blame him for that. I think that 2 might be hidden just a little bit. If it was open, he'd probably just go ahead and go for the run out. Easy as that. What have I been doing wrong? At least I know the one thing I've done right is not got into this game. And Danielle, I'm not sure of their queue setups. They one of them, I'm not going to mention the names. One of them was here a little bit early. The other one walked in, shot like 4 balls, and then oh, that's tough. And then started shooting. So I really didn't get a time for the sort of pre-match discussions like I've had in the past. And this was, they literally called up about 7 o'clock and said, hey, we'll be there by 8:30. Is that okay? And yeah, of course it is. Eric Paul, the Wild 5 gets him a win on that game. So all of those that are listed on here is the different ways that that Brandon can win. Obviously not the breaks, but if he makes the 5 in any pocket, that's a win. If it's the 8 ball and he calls the pocket that the 8 ball goes into, that's a win. Or if he gets down to the last 5 balls that are on the table, that's a win. So yeah, that 5 in particular can go anywhere at any point in time, except, and I probably should have asked this one beforehand, if the 5 goes on the break, I believe that's going to spot back up, which is what usually happens if a money ball goes on the break. But any other time, it can go anywhere, called or not. It left a little bit more cut than he wanted to on the 7, so we may see this one go all the way up and back down. He may just make the 9 ball now. Who knows? As long as that stays out of the way, looking pretty good. I think we're getting ready to see a 9-0. All right, there's 9.
He's thinking the last 5. He's thinking the last 5 of the money balls.
And Robbie, I'm not positive about that. Obviously, it's going to be spotted where it would have to get kicked in. I mean, even on this one, he's got it up towards the front there. But I don't believe it counts on the break. Never mind. We're good. Oh, I thought we were getting ready to find out. Well, this has the possibility of being it. All right, so a game with the potential for taking, technically it could take days. We are about 46 minutes in right now, and this is looking like it might be nearing the end. Nice little bit of angle to pull it back down to the other side. And there's your 10. All right, so we're going to check and see if they're going to decide they want to play this one again, or if the first 2,000 was enough. And go from there. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Let's just play the 5 ball ghost.
You're buying everything.
Yeah, you think I can fucking win? The guy fucking runs out from everywhere. Just check it. Making the shots.
All right, everyone. Just went in and checked with him just to make sure. I didn't think that Brandon was wanting to do another set of that, but we have made it to the head by 10, and sorry that it only took 47 minutes. We did have a little bit more entertainment on this one, but if not before, remember on 1-2, so on Sunday, we have the Florida's finest. Mr. Andrew Cleary versus Dominic Dunn. If you haven't seen the post, then you haven't been on our page, because they are all over the place, and these two amazing guys are going to come out here and let her rip over there on the 9-foot table that you see in the back. So, as always, thank you very, very much for joining us. Definitely do appreciate it. We got a lot of viewers tonight, and I thank every one of you. We will see y'all soon. Keep practicing.